Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Robert Sims doing today's Peace Talk. Today's Peace Talk. I do Peace Talks every day, Monday through Friday at 1 o'clock. Next week, starting next week, I'm going to be going YouTube Live. So I'm going to be doing it YouTube Live at 1 o'clock on YouTube Live, and I will be putting it on Facebook also. But I will be live on my Be Extraordinary YouTube page, and I'll get more information on that. If you want my YouTube address, my YouTube page, it's put in the search, Be Extraordinary Robert Sims. Be Extraordinary Robert Sims, and my page will come up. And now today I want to talk about, I got somebody that sent me a video. And it was an older white man that sent me this video. And the video was, it seemed he wanted to educate me on race. What's up, Dwayne? He wanted to educate me, it seems, on race. And so it was a video from about 2 years ago on YouTube. And it was a compilation video of different African-American actors and singers that said there's no such thing as racism. That racism doesn't exist. And we should stop talking about it and just do your best to do what's necessary to be successful. And I'm like, wow. You would send somebody that video in this climate. That's number one. Number one, it tells me how detached that he is from really what's going on. And it showed me how detached those individuals are from what's going on. Because when you are famous and rich, you are always still going to be an African American, a black man. But there is a certain place that the popular people or the majority puts you. So yeah, but that's Michael Jackson. Oh yeah, but he's black. Yeah, but that's Michael Jordan. Yeah, but that's. So they are the yeah, but that's. So they are looked upon by the white population as other than. And so they were on this video talking about. I wish I could. The video was. It didn't show any pictures because it was messed up because he sent it through Messenger. But my point is, it was an erroneous video, and he was trying to educate me on there is no such thing as race, so get over it. And so I sent him some videos also to help him educate and help him to see that there is a such thing as racism. Race is not an issue. Race, there's only one race, the human race. But the issue on race is something that we do have to deal with. It's not something that you can ignore and push under the rug, even as a Christian. Because as I said before, the things that are injustices in any society, in most societies, it is endorsed by the church. Slavery could not have been perpetuated in this country if they didn't have the stamp of the church on it, particularly the white church. Stamp. You do your studies. Look over in when Adolf Hitler was coming into power, and some of the things that he was implementing in the country to oppress the Jewish people. That there was a system, there was an Orthodox Christian church that was endorsing the behavior of Adolf Hitler. Read it. Don't take my word for it. Read it. I read some of the biographies of Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Dietrich Bonhoeffer is one of the people that came out against Nazism and the things that they were perpetuating till it came to a climax that came out in World War II. So before World War II broke out, there were things that was happening that other people were turning a blind eye to. Well, we don't want to get involved in that. But when it came to our doorstep, That's when we had to get involved. And so we want to deal with that now. We want to deal with racism now. Because we don't deal with racism, we don't deal with certain things in our lives until it comes to our doorstep. To somebody we know is getting hurt. There are certain things that don't, see, like when the pandemic hit, that was over across the seas. That was over in China. Oh boy, ooh, I'm glad that's not over here. Then when it hit here, everything broke loose. And so everything shifted when it came to our doorstep. And so that's the same thing as racism. That's the same thing. Any form of injustice. The humans like to take the easiest route if you're not a special person. Because most people want to just do what's the easiest thing to do. You know, if they ain't mess with me, that's not my business. Hey Patrick, what's up, man? And so I believe God is encouraging us. Again, this is history being made right now. History is being made right now. History is being made right now. History is being made right now. And history is going to write where you are. You have a voice. You have a voice. And you have a responsibility to speak out against injustice. We have a responsibility to speak out against abortion. We have a responsibility to speak out same-sex marriage. We have a responsibility to speak out on all the things that hold our Christian values. We have Christian values. If you're a Christian, you have Christian values. And so we're supposed to speak out against what we believe God is against. Hey, Trina. If God is against something, so am I. If God doesn't like something, I don't like it either. If God loves something, I love that too. I make my desires in alignment with his. That way, guess what? If you're in alignment with God all the time, guess what? You ain't wrong. Get lined up with God. And God is never against the underdog that cry out to him. There's a scripture. Did you know there's a scripture that says when the children of Israel were going into the promised land, he says, do not oppress the widow, the orphan, or the foreigner. What does he mean? That was a good term back then. We use that derogatory now. But that meant somebody that came from another country, obviously, and lives with you. He said, don't mistreat people in your society. That's the underclass. He said, boy, you mistreat those widows. You mistreat the foreigner. You mistreat the orphans. And let them cry out to me. He said, I'm going to handle you. Don't do it. That's what he said. He said, I will allow you to be killed with the sword because you're oppressing people that they don't have a man to stand over them and to help him, or they don't have the protection that you have. So you don't mistreat people that are you view as inferior. That's what he was saying. He's saying, don't be in a better position than somebody else, and then now you use your position to mistreat people that are in a lower place than you. He says, I'm not having it. Don't do it. So he's saying, get your mind in alignment with mine. Don't be stuck on your political line, your ethnic line, and none of your other lines. Don't be so attached to where you came from that you're not attached to God. God is the person and the only one that we're supposed to be aligned with, not our family, not our denomination, not our ethnicity, not our political background, not on the left, on the right, none of that. Our line is supposed to be straight down the middle. God said, well, you remember there was a time where Joshua was about to go into battle, and then God sent an angel down there. And Joshua looked at the angel, he said, are you for them or for us? Who are you for? You for them? He said, I ain't come to take sides, I come to take over. God says, I'm not taking sides with the Democrats. I'm not taking sides with the Republicans. I'm not taking sides with blacks or whites. I'm coming to let y'all know what's right and what's wrong. So do what I say. Get in my word and find out what I'm saying. Do that. And when you see somebody not doing what I say something. He said, you could possibly keep them from going to hell. That's what he said. He said, if you see a righteous man doing the wrong thing and you don't say something and they die, their blood is on your hands. Their blood will be on your hands. He said, but if you say something and they ignore you, you're good. He said, you're good. So I'm imploring ever since, a couple of weeks ago, I started on down this road right here where I'm on. And I'm committed to doing what I believe God is telling me to do on these calls. And so I'm going to encourage you to find your voice. That's it right there. Find your voice. Speak out. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid of what people are going to think about you. John the Baptist didn't deal with that. Jesus didn't deal with that. The men of God that's mature, men and women of God, they weren't so preoccupied. Jesus said he made himself of no reputation. In other words, he's not worrying about his reputation. I got to please the Father that sent me. So you please God. You speak out. You find your voice. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to get on YouTube. You don't have to get on Facebook. Look at me sweating. That's the devil. You don't have to get on social media and do all this. Do what God tells you to do. Make impact where he's telling you to make impact. He's got something for you to do, something for you to say. Make your voice known. One of the most powerful ways to make your voice known, and I keep saying this, in those conversations, not the big ones, not the public conversations, in your private conversations when you're home with your family, or you get gathered at the cookouts, and y'all grilling, y'all in the backyard, and all the family's there, and then all of a sudden the racial slurs comes up, or the derogatory statements about different people. That's when you're supposed to speak up. That's when you're supposed to find your voice. You don't be silent. Well, I don't want to make waves. There you go. That's when you're wrong, right there. I don't want to make waves. Come on, speak up. I encourage you to break that cycle. You have the opportunity right now to break that cycle right now. Speak up. If nobody else is going to speak up in that circle, you have to disrupt that narrative. There is a narrative that's going on in those private conversations that you have to disrupt it. You have to break it up and be the voice of dissent sometimes. That's not wrong. Remember back in the Revolutionary War? It was dissent that created this country. They didn't go with the flow. And so that's what we have to, don't go with the flow. Allow your voice to be heard. All right, that's all I got to say today, guys. This is Robert Sims with today's Peace Talk. Peace Talk, okay. Well, I'll be here tomorrow on Facebook Live. If you like this, if you liked what I said, like it and share it. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.